What's up, guys? It's I, Visionary Mind, and we are here today to talk about this Vren deck that we built on Brawl and Arena. So, this deck is all built around rats. Vren is a really cool card. I really like what it does, and this whole deck is pretty much focused on destroying your opponent's creatures to create more rats. And the token that Vren creates gets +1/+1s. It allows us to do all types of fun and all things. So, as you can see, it's just all rat based. So it's quick to do a quick run now because it's very simple, self-explanatory. So we have Vren the Relentless. He's two, a blue and a black. He is Ward 2. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of each end step, create X11 black rat creature tokens with this token gets +1/+1 for each rat you control, where X is the number of creatures that were exiled on your opponent's control turn. So this is awesome because it's like it happens at any point. As long as you destroy one of your opponent's creatures, you're going to be able to create a rat at the number of destroyed. So if you get like a nice board wipe or a one-sided board wipe and creatures, you're going to create this token which gets +1/+1. You're going to have a board full of rats, and it's just going to get stronger. And the only downside, I guess, for you and a positive for your opponent, that is at the okay. But our job is to make sure that we're destroying them on turns, right? So we have some Death Touch rats. We have, creatures like a Cursed Marauder, just that sacrifices each on both sides. So that way we're guaranteeing stuff. We have a lot of cards like Feed the Cycle, Feed the Swarm, Go for the Throat. We just have a lot of things that's going to destroy, because as long as Vren is on the battlefield, things that get destroyed get exiled, which is even better for us. And then we have, like I said, like a one-sided board wipe at times is Massacre Worm, because we cast them their tokens or whatever before they start doing their shenanigans. We could basically wipe their whole board, and that will count, especially with Vren because he has ward, and then we can give him all types of protection. And then we also run something like Patchwork Banner. There's other cards you can do +1/+1s, but that's basically the concept of the deck. I have 103 because I want to showcase these cards. So we have Pack Rat. I do not have it crafted, but this is a card I'd recommend having if you have it. I don't have the gems for it. I mean, well, cards, whatever the hell they're called. I don't have it right now for them. So I will say, once you do, make sure you definitely have Pack Rat. Make sure you definitely have Hyper of the Swarm. And then also have our own. I think these are 3 cards that are must have for the, but they still work without it. But yeah, these cards are awesome. Fear basically makes all your rats unblockable except by artifact black creatures. This gives all your rats menace, and you can also create tokens and gain control of the creature by sacrificing rats. This also sacrifices a rat and then X11 black rat creature tokens, where X is the number of rats you control. So if you have so many rats, you're gonna get that many more. So it's kind of like a Cranko kind of ability, not as super powered. And then we have a Pack Rat, which gains toughness and power equal to the number. So the more rats you have, the better. And then we have other cards that we have, like we have Graveyard Synergy where you have to surveil. Even though for lands, I do like the Scribe because I want to see what I'm having drawing, so I can always have. And then otherwise you want to surveil, have things, so that way you have at least 7. 7 is the threshold for most of these cards. As long as you have 7 cards in your graveyard, some of these rats will be able to have added effects for these threshold where they can activate and buff them. It's a +3/+0, so he'll be a 5/5. Right? So as long as you have 7 or more. And then we have something which I think I really want to talk about because it's really cool for this deck is Leer. Spells can't be countered during your turn. Each instant and sorcery in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. So basically what that means is that we can get a 2-for-1. Or not 2-for-1, but we get 2 effects for the price of just 1 card, right? So you basically get to use each of your cards twice one from your hand and essentially one from your grave, as long as you have Leer. So you can keep putting the pressure onto your opponent and trigger Vren's abilities to continue to create more creatures, but also exile them. So it's really, really cool. That's basically the concept. Just annoy the hell of your opponent. Have to have some type of counters. Just do all like the blue stuff that it does. Have very, mastermind. Just for evasiveness and drawing. Just all the shenanigans that happens. We also have like a little draw engine here that we have. So yeah, we want to make sure we get all the cards that we want. I have imposter syndrome because it's just funny. If it happens, it happens. If not, it's whatever. But yeah, basically the cusp of it is just destroying your opponent's creatures, being annoying on both turns, your turn and their turn, and just creating tons and tons of rats. So let's get ready to. So let's look after some battles now. So these were pre-recorded, obviously. So we're gonna see how this goes. This is against Dina, the Soul Steeper. I never faced her. I mean, there's a lot of commanders I never faced. But yeah, we're just gonna rock it out. We're speeding this up a little bit. It's a lot that's going on. But yeah, right now we have a decent hand. We have a lot of things that can trigger our Vren when he finally hits the field. We have, Feed the Swarm. We have, the Demon's Disciple that can basically destroy their cards. And we also have the Rat King is another card I want to talk about. It's really cool. It gives all your rats Toxic 1. So it's another way of winning toxic damage. If you have tons of creatures, obviously. It's a long shot. It's not probably like a late game kind of thing. But it's there to help sort of give you more pressure on your opponent, if anything. And this, obviously, Egrix, or Gwenum, I believe, is awesome. This card really synergizes well for me, at least. For my personal preference. Yeah, definitely a card that I enjoy having in this deck, or I just enjoy having, period. It's really, really cool. So you have the Gala Greeters and the Land of War Elves. And what is this, turn 5 or something like that? No, turn 3, because you had the Farseek. Kind of interesting, because I thought he would have it much earlier, unless he was waiting for one or the other to utilize it. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff ready to use with our Vren. But we want to set up a little bit, see what happens, build up our board a little bit, and then also just take advantage of the fact that they're not going to block Egrix, right? We get a land out of that, and if we want to cast the fall, we can, but we're just not at this point. It makes no sense right now. And this also gives you poison counter as well. And just seeing what he's doing, I'm intrigued, because this card is really cool. This Gala Greeters gives you so much utility, and he's setting up his arenas as well to draw. But also, you don't want to play Vren until you have something, right? So typically, you want to have protection for your commander or some form of play to protect your commander, right? So I'm debating here who to kill, either Dina or Gala Greeters. I'm really looking at the Gala Greeters though, which is probably why it's taking longer than it should be, because he is the card that can get big really, really fast. And her I'm not too worried about. And so I'm like, you know what? The indestructible kind of suck, but we're going to just attack with everybody. He's obviously going to block because he's indestructible. And I do get to cast his Leer, which is awesome. Because if I wanted to do another spell, I can. But I obviously don't have the mana for it. And so because we drew another land, now we can. Or rather we can, from the top, the spell. Yes. So, we were able to do that because of Egrix. Yeah, he had the Sanguine Blood. I'm like, okay, now I have something to destroy this, because I do not want him to gain this much health now. So I'm like, okay, what should I do? Should I just play around with it, or should I just get rid of that Sanguine Bond? So we got rid of the bond. And that was it for him. I mean, he really had nothing. I was overwhelming him. He didn't have any blockers. So that's basically what you want to do with the deck, right? You just want to annoy the crap out of your opponent to the point where they're like, I'm done with this, right? So we mulligan because our hand wasn't that great, but this isn't great either. But at least we have Snuff Out, we have something like Vraska's Fall, and we have three, you know, we have a black, we have a swamp. Last time we didn't have any swamp, so now we have a black and some islands. So now we have something for Vren. If you decide to actually bring him out, we have something for him. So that is a perfect. And then now we also have the hideout here. So I'm like, what should I do? Should I have the hideout? Because hideout is really good because I have the surveil 1. So it's like something that if you want to have like the extra creatures on there to trigger your graveyard rat abilities, that's a good way of just surveilling there as well. So it's a really cool card to have in the deck. I think it makes sense for me at least. And also scrying. You want mainly scry stuff, and then the surveil is just there for like an option. And I'm like, I got negates and counters, so I'm like, I'm getting rid of this. I see +1/+1s on it, and I'm like, okay, we need to get rid of this, especially with white. I'm like, we gotta get rid of this damn thing. So yeah, I'm not drawing the best stuff right now. I'm kind of whiffing. I mean, the only thing I could really do is go either for my my Vren or the Rat King, and I just like, you know what, let's go with Vren. I have the Snuff Out. If I need to snuff something out, we can. And yeah, that was just my whole thought process there. It just made sense for me in this moment in time because there's not really much they're doing. So yeah, at first I didn't, you know, another thing, guys, at first I didn't know what that glowing thing was, because I'm like, what is this card doing? Is it for seek or whatever the hell it's called? I don't know what it was, but yeah, I was definitely confused by that. And another reason why I like Rat King, because he allows you to search the top 4 cards when he enters and add any rats, any amount of rats that was in your hand, well, in that fort, to add to your hand. So it's a really good card for multiple reasons. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this Scorpion. I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to block it. And of course he has the board wipe, so that kind of sucked there. So now my options is Stormplate or maybe Baleful Strix, which I'm most likely gonna play because I like the card draw and just the card in general for another land. And now we do have the other land, and I'm just gonna add more bodies and see what happens. Make him discard a card, make him lose life, whatever the case may be. Just do something to him because that board wipe kind of sucked. Because we do have enough to bring out our commander out again, so I'm not too worried about that. So he goes Llanowar Elves again, and then I'm keeping my Vraska's Fall in my hand because and then I just drew Bladecrafter, right? So I have something for the Ajani if it does come out, which he hasn't brought out at all yet. I mean, I don't think he has any reason, so there's nothing on the board, so I'm not too worried. The only thing that can kind of kill me is another board wipe. Right, so you know, we got our rat token, we got some stuff going on, and then we get the board wipe, and then now everything perpetually has +1/+1s. Honestly, what do you guys think about these new like arena cards, arena exclusive cards? Me personally, I'm like, like perpetually giving something +1/+1s on the hand, that's kind of crazy, to be honest. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? So I used the Vraska's Fall because we do have Bladecrafter for his Ajani. So my thing was, I'm not trying to waste something or a card for him to bring out a token again. So I might as well just get through the main card, and then that way it's just a token I need to worry about later on, and not have to use so much like a board wipe potentially, and then have a damn token come out after everything. So we're gonna bring out our creature here, and then we're just gonna get rid of the 2 card, and then pass, because he's really not doing much. I don't know if he has just a crappy hand or what, but you know, we don't really have much that we can do anyways. So we do play our land, and then we do get to shoot the sheriff, which is good. So we have something, again, another way to disrupt our opponent. And that's basically what we want to do, just have them as low, keep their monster count, their creature count, their spell counts as low as possible. As empty as possible. That is the goal. Yeah, and this card is just so good because it allows us to get all these free casts, basically. Or these free creatures just coming out. So, yeah, Egrix is a card that's definitely staying in this deck regardless. Regardless of anything, it's definitely staying. You know, and I'm reading and I'm like, okay, why is he not bringing this thing out? And then guess what? You try to go for another board wipe. Another board wipe. That would have been the 4th board wipe. Like, how many board wipes can you possibly have? That was insane. That was just toxic as hell. So we got a decent hand here. I actually like this hand. We have a lot of you know, lands, which is what we like to see. Excuse me. And so we're okay with that. And they're running Hinata, so you know they're gonna try to be annoying as possible. So I gotta make sure I get rid of that card as much as possible, because I don't want stuff costing more. I don't want that to happen. So we just kind of like keeping everything open, free. And I'm like, should I put Lord Skitter Butcher, because he allows you to get a free creature basically, whenever. And he has so many great options when he enters the battlefield, so it's really cool. So he has this Hinata. I couldn't do anything because, you know, I just couldn't do anything at that point until I had the Playcrafter. And so now we play another land, and we're gonna pay our 2, losing 1 because of the Mirror Signet, and we're gonna sack that rat and his commander, who is now at 6 cost. And you know, that's basically what we want to do, just kill the commander as much as possible. That's another goal of mine, is just kill the commander as much as possible. So we have a counter spell and we have a negate. And guess what? We're definitely going to use this negate, because this gives all these tokens all types of things, and we don't like it, so we get it out of there. We got a land. We're going to do some damage to it. We have Gix. We could bring out Vren if we wanted to. We have things that we can do. And I'm kind of just keeping these spells open, so in case he does bring out his Anata, we can literally get rid of it. And as you can see, I'm counting the land to see if he can bring it out. And he has a lot of fetch lands, so he's definitely going to get the colors and all the things that he needs. So he doesn't go for the Hinata, he's just going for the ramp. Make sure he has plenty. And so I'm like, okay, let's bring out Commander, because we have enough. We have exactly enough to counter his Hinata. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save this, because he's going to target my Vren, which is cool, which is great. That's fine. And then we're going to pass. And then we're going to attack. We still have the advantage. As long as his commander doesn't come out, we are okay. Another fetch land. We're gonna bring out his commander. Counter spell. Get it out of here. And he scooped it up. His thing was gonna cost, what was it gonna cost? I don't even want to know. Like 7 or 8 to bring it out. So yeah, we switch the hands up. This hand isn't that great, but we have some lands that we can work with, and we have something for turn 1. and we're going against a mirror match here. We're going against Vren as well. So, you know, I'm thinking, should I go backwater? Should I go with swamp? So we go backwater because we don't really have a turn 2 play like that. We can go with the dominance, but we could just do it after. We exchange some hellos. He's happy because he's playing another Vren. Get it? Another friend. But, you know, we got Valley Rock Caller, which is another cool one, but it's really for squirrels. But it does have it does send rats on it as well. So now we're just gonna ramp up a little bit, and then possibly go for the Shoreline Looter, because Shoreline is a really cool card. I really like the card. And then he has a different approach here. He has the ring tempting him with the Elrond. So we draw the rat out. We have just swamps. We have things we can do. I'm thinking we could go Vren. I'm thinking Daggerfang. So I think I ultimately go with Daggerfang here, just because, again, you want to have, of course I mill 2 lands, that makes sense, right? So basically, you know, you want to just make sure you have enough protection or coverage for when your commander comes out. So that's why I was like, let's just draw, we'll see what happens. We drew a land, we're gonna just pitch the land. It just makes sense. I'd rather just have the land in the graveyard right now. I'd rather keep these cards in my hand in case of anything. Obviously I can't block, so I lose. He gains some health. He attacks me again. It's okay. I'm like, let's just go, see what happens. And let's just risk it for the biscuit. Let's see if he goes for any blocks. He's gonna get Death Touch if he does block. And also my looter is unblockable, so he can't block my looter anyways. So we're just gonna go out there and draw and see what happens. And we got a Ruin Rat. Ruin Rat's gonna go straight to the graveyard. This is another card you could take out as well to put either one of the 3 that I mentioned before. So he brings out his commander now. And you know, I'm just very interested by this Elrond. It's an interesting choice. Again, I can't block because of the menace, so he's gonna be able to just get that 1 damage off. Now I get another, you know, another land here. I'm going Nighthawk Scavenger because I want to fly. I want another Death Toucher. And I'm like, okay, he has the menace. I kind of want him to stop attacking me. So I'm like, let's go attack with these 2, and I can always block his rock caller. And now we send the field. Sorry, the land. So he has a lot of things that has to do with, I don't know what he's trying to do with the Malakir Coldblade. Like, he doesn't really have a sack outlet, so it's just kind of interesting. Maybe he's trying to see if he can kill me as much, but that would be a good card that I could put in my deck, my version, because I am constantly trying to kill your creatures with all these spells and things of that nature. So I think he's kind of like in a bind, trying to see what he can do. This one was a little bit of a battle of wits, now that I remember this. This one was kind of coming down to like who's going to be the aggressor. And so I think I get rid of the spell swindle. Oh, I get rid of the psychic wall. Well, he did have 2, and I didn't really surveil much because I didn't have much in the graveyard. So I was like, okay, maybe I keep the spell swindle in case of anything. And I just did it just to counter it, just to be a fool and get some treasures. Get some treasures out of that. in case of anything. It's fine. And also get that that rat token that we wanted as well. So now we have an unblockable rat, a looter, and the Nighthawk scavenger that all can't be blocked. No, sorry, he can be blocked, he can't block. Yeah, so as you can see, it's getting kind of scary there because I did lose a creature. Because that was a miscalculation on my end. But now he's going to lose a creature because it was probably a miscalculation on his end. So he kind of had like a mental lapse there too. So now I have a bigger rat. And then I have my Tidecaller Mentor with all of these things in the graveyard where he's gonna counter creature spells. So yeah, and we're gonna send everything their way and see what happens. And so because we have the numbers required, we don't need to discard for the looter. And so our opponent is just like, what can I do here? And so he gets the token out now. And he's gonna go for the attack. And we're gonna get rid of his commander. I'm gonna create a rat token. See, then discard a card unless there are 7 or more. So as long as you have 7 or more cards in the graveyard, you don't have to discard. And so I create another token, and then we're just gonna go and just do some shenanigans. We're gonna go into combat, and we're just gonna attack with basically everything but our commander. So I made a hiccup, he had a hiccup, and that's basically what kind of just happened, guys. You know, so that's the deck. I hope you guys really enjoyed the little breakdown there. It was a really cool, fun one. I would definitely have you guys suggest you guys to put the 3 cards that I mentioned before, the Mauler, the Piper, and the Pack Rats. Those are really good cards to have in the deck. They really help out as much. But until then, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you on the next one.